Hazard pay is back on, baby. Hazard pay is in the third stimulus package. And there's no less than 3 types of hazard pay: public sector hazard pay, private sector hazard pay, and tax credit hazard pay. But how will it be calculated? In 2020, hazard pay under the HEROES Act was calculated on the number of hours you worked from January 2020 to 60 days after the pandemic ends, $30 an hour based upon that calculation. You could get paid up to $10,000 of hazard pay. So will that same calculation be used under the third stimulus package? In the next few days, we can finally see how Joe Biden treats hazard pay. But for now, enjoy this overnight LA video explaining how you do hazard pay. Hazard pay heats up as members of Congress really go to the battleground over that $10,000. Will you get it, or will it not pass? Hey everybody, this is LA Lake with a second stimulus check and stimulus package update today. This one about hazard pay. That proposal from the Democrats that would pay you up to $10,000 if you worked as an essential worker anytime from January through the present or into the future during this pandemic. Big news today. Exciting but confusing news about the future of hazard pay. Let me get right to it. The answer is we really don't know what the hell's going on with the Republicans. Not being partisan here, but the Republicans have still not given us an answer whether they're going to have hazard pay in their proposal. And as of 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time today, the Republicans have still not debuted the firm details of their second stimulus package. So I can't actually tell you if it's in there or not. Let me get to now what's going on with hazard pay. As you know, the Democrats propose hazard pay in the HEROES Act. It's currently in the HEROES Fund. It's currently in the Senate. Ultimately, whatever the Republicans propose as a second stimulus package, the two bills will be argued together. That's the way Congress works. It's not like I get my bill and I don't care about your bill. They get argued together. Well, as you know, Mitch Onse was supposed to debut Stevie Mnuchin and Mitch McConnell's second stimulus package on Monday to press. Well, did you see it? I didn't see it. You know why? They didn't debut it. Tuesday, they didn't debut it. Wednesday, they still had not debuted it, causing Chuck Schumer out of New York to say, where the hell is your darn package? Thursday morning, they still had not debuted it. So as of 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, today we had Steve Mnuchin, the Treasury Secretary, and Mitch McConnell, head of the Senate Republicans, saying what will be in it, but saying that they're going to debut it later today. Now, an Alabama Republican says, oh, hold up, you're not going to see the second stimulus package from the Republicans until next Monday at least. What is going on? Not to be partisan, this is what they are admitting. The Republicans can't agree upon their own second stimulus package. First, they can't agree upon what's in the package. Second, they can't agree upon the manner in which the package will be delivered. Mitch McConnell says, and actually the White House also says, forget the package, the big box. We're going to do a lot of separate bills because we have unemployment expiring right away. We need to take care of that. And we need to take care of the second stimulus check. And we need to take care of the schools right away. Democrats say, I'm not doing that. I'm not piecemealing. Their exact word. I'm not piecemealing. I'm doing this all together. Get down and let's pull out a paper and let's get this done together. So where is hazard pay going? This is the part that I don't want to be I don't want to read tarot cards for you because I don't wear a headdress and I'm not, I'm not a fortune teller, and I'm not Johnny Carson as a fortune teller either. We are not hearing Steve Mnuchin mention hazard pay today. It's very, very disconcerting. Now, I will fully admit that there's one group of people I really don't like in this entire process, and that is the news reporters. They're not asking the right questions of Stevie Mnuchin. So they're literally, again today, not asking him, hey, what's happening with hazard pay? There's really no response. So I don't have in front of me any response. What I do have is Steve Mnuchin debuting what will be in the second stimulus package. Generally, well, actually, I take that back. This was an inside source telling news what is in the Republican second stimulus package. It didn't come from Steve Mnuchin's mouth directly. And nowhere in there was hazard pay. So is hazard pay dead? It could be for purposes of the Republicans. We won't know. The Republicans' proposal leaked by this reporter said that the proposals included a lot of stuff for employers. Liability protection, money for employers to make renovations to modify their place to be compliant with the pandemic, tax write-offs to modify their place, meals deductible at 100%, a lot of PPP, more PPP money for the businesses, business after business after business tax cut, but no hazard pay. So is hazard pay really dead? I really don't know. New data today says that the infection rate in Florida schools, Texas, and other states is so serious that those schools should never reopen. Members of a leading group of infectious disease experts warned Thursday about reopening schools in Florida, Texas, and other states. There is a simple answer, and that answer is no, says Dr. Tina Tan, who's a professor of pediatrics at Northwestern University. Says Florida, Arizona, Texas, and California absolutely should not open. Now, teachers are essential workers. So, the Republicans' proposed bill leaked by that member of press, which again is not a confirmation, says that the Republicans want to provide money to schools to get people back to schools. Well, wait a second. In the same breath, you're not providing teachers any hazard pay. So you're calling schools back to get back to order of business as a Republican, then you're not compensating the teachers for hazard pay. It's that sort of dichotomy that's not resting well with a lot of people. When you have a surge of diseases in the community, you're basically asking for trouble if you open schools, because you're bringing in children and individuals from all over the community that potentially may have been exposed to it, says Tan. Sections of the country coming up that we didn't anticipate, for example, Florida, Texas, but we're working with very talented people, brilliant people, and it's going to work out, says Trump. I don't think it's going to work out. And I don't think that Americans will be able to digest a second stimulus package if working out means that you're going to give money to schools to reopen, but you're not going to give any money to teachers for hazard pay. You're not going to give anyone else money for hazard pay. You're going to order people to go back to work, but you're not going to compensate them for working in a hazardous environment. I don't think that's going to fly. It's imperative that people pay attention to what the rate of infection is in the community, because it's going to drive whether or not it's safe to open schools, says Tan. As you know, in California, the governor has issued an order preventing any schools from having in-class schools this fall until the numbers improve. LA County, San Diego County says we are not opening our schools for in-class education. You can do it by home, which is great. They're sending parents laptops for their kids if they can't afford a laptop. They're setting them up for free Wi-Fi if they can't afford Wi-Fi. Schools are a microcosm of the communities. They don't operate in a vacuum, says Armstrong. And in order for schools to operate safely, community spread must be controlled and be explosive. So what's going on with hazard pay? If schools are being forced to open under the president's idea and teachers aren't provided hazard pay, what's going to happen with all the other essential workers? Well, we will ultimately see what the Republicans are going to propose. And when are we going to see it? It could be as late as Monday. What's going on, LA? Let me explain the nuance. And I know a lot of you like to track this. I do too. What's happening is that the Republicans fully admit right now, today, that they are not in agreement about a second stimulus package. They're not in agreement what's in the package. They're not in agreement about the details of the package. They're not in agreement about whether the package is 7 bills or 1 bill. They're not agreeing on the amounts of things in the package. They literally cannot come to an agreement. This is really quite critical because Steve Mnuchin and Mitch McConnell said that they, as two people, were riding the Republican second stimulus package over the last couple of weeks. When I heard that last week, I thought it was peculiar. You may have thought it was peculiar as well, because ultimately a lot of Republicans don't agree with Mitch McConnell. Well, that hit the fan apparently yesterday. So the Republican representative out of Alabama said, "Wait a second. I'm not agreeing with what you're doing, Mitch. You can get not reelected in the fall. I'm coming back. So you know what? I'm not agreeing to your darn bill or bills. I need these things changed." So apparently Republicans are not aligning with Mitch McConnell. Many are not aligning with Steve Mnuchin. And some of them are moving more towards the Democratic plan. Some are going the opposite direction as well. And that is causing a lot of confusion. And so while we were supposed to see Mitch on Monday, and we didn't see it on Tuesday or Wednesday, it's supposed to be debuted, the Republican second stimulus package, by later today, sometime at the close of today's business, perhaps after this video is recorded at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. But other Republicans say we won't hear the future of, the bill and AKA hazard pay until as early as Monday. Ultimately, what I want you to know and be informed and be educated about is that hazard pay is not dead. Hazard pay, even if it's not included in a Republican program, is not dead. We won't know the future of hazard pay until these two bills, if there's only two, are combined and negotiated on congressional floors. And that debate is still up for negotiations. The White House is saying minutes ago that they are not putting anything but extension of unemployment benefits, schools, and the check as a priority. They're putting those three things as a priority, and they want those things done right now. They didn't mention hazard pay. So does that mean they're not going to get to hazard pay ever, or they're just not getting to it now? Finally, a personal note. Thank you for staying with this channel. This channel is about to pass 100,000 subscribers either today or tomorrow. I don't think in the history of YouTube that a channel has reached 100,000 subscribers in 100 days. Going from 0 to 100,000 in just 100 days. It's a spirit of helping one another, keeping each other informed, educated, positive, and motivated that this channel has bred upon. Whether it's EIDL loans, where we're sitting in the middle of the night trying to help each other get loans approved, or ensuring that you, if you're essential worker, getting the money you need. Truck drivers who are essential workers have been a real a core of the comments on these hazard pay videos. I see you. I've helped so many viewers who are truck drivers who got nothing during this pandemic from SBA and got them money. And so ultimately, I want you to stay motivated. I want you to stay positive. The battleground of this bill over the next couple of weeks is going to be very, very intense. And I want you to stay motivated. As always, stay positive, stay focused, stay informed, and stay with LA for more.